January was either a 5-star month or a DNF month, or in my case, both. Let's get started with my January review. Hello, my name's Crystal. Welcome to my channel. So, January, it started off interesting. It started off with a couple, but it ended up being either I DNF'd the book or it was a 5-star. Nothing in between. I think I might have had one in between, but I started off the month. Most of my books were library, so I started off the month with Remarkable Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. And this might not be a very popular opinion, but I gave it 1 star. I ended up DNFing it because I thought it was so boring. I liked the octopus. The octopus was great. I could have handled more of the octopus. And the lady, what was her name again? Tova. Yeah, I could have handled more of the octopus and Tova. I like their story, but the rest, I was just wondering who they were talking about, and I tried for well over 100 pages, and I just didn't care, so I DNF'd it. And then we moved on to Bared to You by Sylvia Day. Now, I had picked up Captivated by You and Entwined with You. I still have them on my bookshelf. They are number 3 and 4 of this series. And so I picked up Bared to You as well as the second one from the library. And again, I made it over 100 pages in. And it was just traumatized girl, traumatized guy. Let's just forget our trauma and let's just jump into bed together to forget our trauma. And people have compared it to 50 Shades of Grey. I have read the 50 Shades of Grey and really enjoyed it. And I can see why they compared it to 50 Shades of Grey, but I just couldn't get into this one. It was just purely smut, like 50 Shades of Grey, but I just didn't enjoy the storyline, and so I DNF'd it as well. And then my next one, thank goodness, was Caught Up by Liz Tomforty, and this is about Kai and Miller. And Kai is a single dad. He's the starting pitcher for Chicago's Major League Baseball team. And he has a young son who he doesn't trust anybody with. He keeps firing his nanny. And so it's his coach. His coach's daughter ends up becoming the nanny, Miller, and he cannot fire her. So it is their story. 5-star, loved it. Another 5-star. I have read Mile High and The Right Move. Have I read The Right Moves? Yes, The Right Moves. And they've all been 5 stars for me. I am enjoying this series. I will be moving on to the next one. And then after that, I have them all on my phone here. The next one I read, this was one that I rated. What did I rate this one? Oh no, this one was 5 stars too. Okay. So this is by Frida McFadden, The Widow's Husband's Secret Lie. Now this is a satire on thriller books, and it is completely unhinged. I could not stop laughing about the widow's husband's secret lie. Like, it's completely unhinged. It was hilarious. I could see how some people couldn't like it. It only has a 3.33 rating, but I rated it 5 stars. It was hilarious. I enjoyed it so much. It's still making me laugh. And then next on the list was what was this one? Oh yeah. Next one on the list was Claimed by Desire by Landon Rose, and this one was, I rated it 3.5 stars, I think. It was about a couple that had broken up quite a while ago, and says, this morning I heard someone pounding on my front door and opened it to find the single dad from next door looking terrified with his daughter laying limp in his arms. Please, he said, his voice shaking. She's allergic. It's getting worse. I didn't know where else to go. I didn't hesitate. I reached for her. I grabbed my bag and dropped to my knees to check her breathing. I grabbed the EpiPen and pressed it into her thigh, and a second later her chest finally rose and air rushed back into her lungs. She leapt up into her dad's arms, and he held her tight as she buried her face in his shoulder. He looked at me softly and handed me an envelope as he growled, "You just saved my daughter's life. Now let me do this for you." Now, it turns out that her next door neighbor, she did know. And you would find that out. But it was pretty good. It was one that I think I downloaded from BookBub. It was interesting. I enjoyed it. I probably won't remember it 6 months down the road, but it was good. It was a good read. And then another controversial one. I tried, and it might be a soft DNF. I'm not sure. I might try again later on down the road, but I tried reading Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ricci, and yeah, 1 star. I ended up DNFing it. What did I write? Did I write anything? Oh, just no, can't do it. Yeah, it's too much trauma. Too much trauma. And maybe it's the point where I am at my life right now. But I just couldn't do it. Right now I need happy stories or killer stories. But I might go back to it at a later date because I've heard so many good things about it, but I just couldn't do it this time. And then after that, I did, if you saw my 24-hour video, I did a Spindle Splintered by Alex E. Harrow. And that one was good. I think I rated that one 3.5 stars. It was pretty good. I listened to it from Hoopla, from the library, and it was a fractured fable about Sleeping Beauty. It was pretty good. And then after that was, oh goodness, yes. The next one was That's Not My Name by Megan Lowley. And that one broke my heart. Oh my goodness. I rated it a 5 star. The twist in that is just crazy. I loved it. It was amazing. I recommend that book if you're looking for a thriller. Definitely an easy read. And then next on the list was The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. And I was saying in my 24-hour read, I enjoyed this so much. My husband went out and bought me the other 2. Well, he bought me all 3 of them. I had the one from the library, but he bought me the set. So I have all 3 of them now. And this is about Rowan and Zahara. And Rowan has to He's in the beginning business of creating fairy tales, production companies, 5-star hotels, theme parks. Everything can be mine if I renovate Dreamland. Hiring Zahara was a great plan until I fell for her. By the time I realized where I went wrong, it was too late. People like me don't get happy endings, not when we're destined to ruin them. So he has, in order to receive his inheritance from his late grandfather, he has to renovate Dreamland. It's kind of like Disney World. And Zahara submits a drunk proposal criticizing Dreamland's most expensive ride. I should have been fired. Instead, Rowan Kane offered me a dream job. The catch, I have to work for the most difficult boss I've ever met. Rowan was rude and completely off limits, but my heart didn't care. At least not until I discovered his secret. It was time to teach the billionaire that money couldn't fix everything, especially not us. 5 stars. Yeah, it was 5 stars. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then the next one was Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. And again, I tried and I couldn't get into it. I found it boring. I ended up DNFing it. I usually look for books that grab me from the first sentence and don't let go. This, unfortunately, didn't even grab me from the first few chapters, which is a shame because I was looking forward to my first Emily Henry book. I'm thankful I got it from the library and didn't buy it. Yeah, I was so disappointed with it. I was looking forward to it and it didn't grab me. And then the last book I read 11 books. The last book I read was Flawless by Elsie Silver. And this is part of the Chestnut Springs series. I remember the series. It says, the rules are simple. Keep my hands off his daughter, but now I'm stuck with her. There's only one bed, and while rules are made to be broken. He is a bull rider that needs to clean up his image after losing some of his sponsors. And she is basically his babysitter. And so she has to watch after him for the rest of the season. Says, but I don't need a babysitter, especially one with skin-tight jeans, a sexy smirk, and a mouth she can't stop running. A mouth I can't stop thinking about. She says this means nothing. I say this means everything. She says there are boundaries we shouldn't cross. That's my reputation, that my reputation can't take any more hits, and neither can her damaged heart. I say I'm going to steal it anyway. And this one, 5 stars. It was excellent. You can't lose with a cowboy romance, I don't think. But I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to reading the next few in the series. And so that is my January wrap-up. Now, February's TBR. February's TBR is going to be interesting because according to Goodreads, my physical TBR is 239 books. And that's give or take because I'm not sure if I have scanned them all. However, so I am not going to have a February TBR. I am going to have a February TBR Takedown. I am going to see how many books in February I can read. So I will be doing that throughout the month, trying to read as many books as possible in February. And so I don't want to limit myself to certain books because I am definitely a mood reader. And so that is going to be my February TBR. And I will see by the end of February how many books I can read. I'm going to be reading some romance books for a video that I'm having, and we'll see at the end of the month how many books I can knock off my TBR by then, if my husband doesn't buy me anymore. But I am on a book buying ban. My husband, however, has a long list of books that he would like to get me, but we're gonna knock some off, and thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you like my videos, and I will see you next time. Bye.